two-time Emmy Award-winning journalist that's covered many of the biggest news stories over the past several decades. You know Deborah Norville as the host of Inside Edition, but did you know she's a serious knitter? Plus, she's just published a new book in the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. Here to talk all about it, actually, is Deborah Norville herself.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm so excited to be here. This is great.
I know, isn't this fantastic? Look at this book. How
I'm so
exciting
pleased.
is this?
I was so grateful when the Chicken Soup people reached out to me and said, we like what you've done in the past on gratitude. I've written a book on respect, and I wrote one called Thank You Power. It was about gratitude. And had also done some other stuff with the Chicken Soup people, but they asked me to co-author this one, which was a blast because it meant I got to go through, first somebody culled through about 1,000 stories and gave my co-author Amy Newmark and I 500. And we winnowed that 500 down to our 101 that we liked the best. And there are all kinds of stories. Like one story, there's this lady, she got fired from her job, and the man who fired her had been firing a lot of people that day. They were big downsizing. And he looked so weary that she looked at him, and the first thing she said was, "Are you okay? How are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a tough day." And then he fired her. And she said, "Well, thank you anyway. Thank you for this job, for the experience I've had. It didn't last as long as I wanted." End of the day, she turns her phone back on. There's a voicemail from a recruiter who had been recommended to call her about a new job. The recommendation came from the guy who just fired her. Doesn't hurt to be grateful.
It's really a blessing when things like that happen.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking before we started. Gratitude is sometimes just about being present in the moment and looking for
And the
those
thing
things.
about gratitude, I mean, before I got involved with the Chicken Soup people, I'd done a lot of research, going and looking what real researchers had done. I didn't do the research, but I evaluated their research and kind of pulled together the parts that are most meaningful for people like you and me and everybody at home. And the deal is this: when you focus on what you're grateful for, it usually isn't stuff. It's usually moments and connections with people. And what gratitude does is gratitude reminds us that there are individuals in our little circle or our big circle, whatever our world is, who make our lives better. And we sometimes don't pay attention to that because they're in our world every day. Oftentimes my gratitude is in the morning, I'm busy on the computer writing because that's when I'm productive, and the coffee cup will come wordlessly next to me, just the right amount of half and half, and my husband kisses me on the head and he leaves. And I am so grateful for that because it talks about our relationship. It talks about he knows how I love my coffee. He knows I shouldn't be interrupted if I'm in the flow. That's usually almost always something I'm grateful for.
The small things.
Yeah.
You have some very big things to be grateful for as well. Can we talk for a moment about your career and Inside Edition?
Oh my God, we are so grateful, first of all,
years.
that we're on your channel.
Yes, you
at
are.
7 o'clock every night. But yeah, I've been there 21 and a half years.
Wow.
Which is phenomenal. That's
Look
an
at
interview I did
this.
with Hillary. She and I both had short hair. This was 9/11. Obviously, 15 years ago, I was so proud of what our team did. I've gotten to be in England for just, this was not my choice. They sent me to jail for a week. It was real jail. And this guy here, J.R. Martinez,
Yes.
everybody knows him as the wounded warrior who won Dancing with the Stars. He's from my hometown in Georgia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I've gotten to do a lot of amazing things.
Let's talk about your knitting and the Deborah Norville collection. I am so excited.
Thank you. Well,
and I've started a project.
You have?
Yes.
This is your own work, and you're a crocheter too, because I actually they told me to bring your knitting. I said, well, I'm working on a crochet scarf. The Jets pulled one out the other night against the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
you.
So this is Deborah Norville Everyday Serenity Chunky.
Yes, this is a gorgeous
But how
yarn.
soft is that?
Now, people in the craft industry know you very well, but many people in public may not know that you really, truly are very committed to this.
I am, and I got to tell you what a lot of people don't know, and this I think will be a news flash for you, is the reason I have my career is because of my sewing. When I was a senior in high school, I was in a contest, the Junior Miss Pageant, doesn't exist anymore, but you had to have a talent, and I was too scared to sing in front of anybody. I don't tap dance, I don't twirl the baton, I can't play the piano, but I made my own clothes, and so I modeled my own clothes. Oh, there's my yarn collection, yeah. So I modeled my own clothes and saw television and was inspired to pursue TV as a career. If I didn't make things, if I didn't, you know, be a homemade kind of girl, I would not have the confidence to go to jail and do a news story or interview the nominee for president or interview the president for that matter. being able to take a ball of yarn, which you have in your lap, and look at what you've done. In just a few minutes, you've started a scarf, or an Afghan probably. You don't need scarves here, that's for sure.
I'd love to make a dog sweater if I could figure it out.
Well, your dog will die if you put him in a sweater here in Las Vegas.
Ah,
You just
that's
don't
true.
want to do that.
It gets cold here, it would surprise you.
Okay, well, I've never experienced Vegas's chill, but I'm going to take your word on that. But to take a ball of yarn and create this is like going to be a scarf. I have one for this is called Everyday Go Team.
This is
and
great.
This is Jets colors. We choose all the teams that lose, so we root for the Jets in my family.
And so
this will be a big long cowl. I've done one for Duke, for Georgia Tech.
I tell you what, people can go to your website
Yep.
and see all kinds of how-to videos. Sometimes you just got to get that project out of the closet and get started
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
And sometimes you can forget. You also teach people how to do something really fun called the idiot's way of casting on.
Yes,
which
and
we'll show afterwards. I'm
Oh,
afraid
okay.
we don't have time to
Okay,
do that.
great.
But we would love for people to go to your website and watch.
Absolutely, it's all there. But most of all, thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for watching us, because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you watching, so we're very grateful.
Yes, thank you so much, Deborah. Catch Deborah on Inside Edition tonight at 7 right here on Channel 13. Also, make sure to visit her website, deborahnorville.com. There you'll find inspiring thoughts as well as how-to videos for knitting and crocheting and info on her new book.
Cool stuff, JJ. Thank you so much. A Jet scarf, great to cry into after watching how the season pans out.